Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday, B Star. Let me see if I can get the live chat up. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Uh oh, my camera sliding. Hold on. Let's see if I can get the live chat up. I may have to just do it on my phone. Hello, Diva. Happy Sunday. Let's see, live chat. All right, I think I got it set now. Happy Sunday. Welcome. I hope you all had an amazing week. I am going to try to get the chat pulled up here on my phone because we have a lot to cover tonight. Happy Sunday, says what? So today is a Feed Your Addiction. Hey, QB. But it's also, hey, Roslyn, happy Sunday. It is Feed Your Addiction Sip and Cuss style because y'all know Feed Your Addiction is Sunday. Hi, Shawnee. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Shirley. Happy Sunday. But we're going to also talk about this recent announcement. I think it was Friday morning before the crack of dawn. Hello, Allison. Hi, CF. I had 5 messages spread across text and Instagram. Hi, Clove. Hi, Candy Crusher. 5 people reached out to me like before 6:30 a.m. letting me know that they had received an email from Dooney that the loyalty program was being discontinued, dissolved, ended, whatever you want to call it. And before I go there, we got to take a little bit of a stroll back down memory lane, Feed Your Addiction style, specifically back to October 27th, 2019. So on October 2019, I did a live stream about Dooney's customer service policies, and I called out not only a lack of customer service, but there's also had been this controversy with Dooney around whether or not ILD was a part of them or not a part of them, but they were shipping in the same boxes from the same address. The receipts were just a different color, and there's this hyperlink that you can literally go from Dooney to ILD, but there isn't a link to go from ILD back. But anyway, so this was during a period of time when packages were arriving to customers across the country, and they were absolutely awful. During that time, I distinctly remember ordering a large Sister Carrington in the color leaf and it arriving with the tassels literally hanging outside of the box. And it looked like 4 or 5 UPS trucks ran over it after a Dooney forklift ran over it. There was just a lot there. So during that same live, again, this was October 2019, I noted that because this was during the time when we were all going, you know, crazy for the Michael Kors guitar straps. Their free shipping, the discounts, yada yada yada. They have a customer loyalty or rewards program, and Dooney did not have one at the time. And October 2019, I noted in that live that they did not have a customer loyalty program and that they needed one. And I also pointed out that they didn't offer gift wrap services. And here we are, 2022 February. They still don't. I also noted during that live that there were inconsistencies in the issuing of the birthday discount, the 20 off of a regularly priced item. At that time, I had never received an email from ILD or Dooney for the 20% off discount. And to this day, keep in mind, I just celebrated a birthday a little over 60 days ago. Let's say 75 days ago. I still haven't received a birthday coupon code. And they have had my email address since the very first time I could enter an email address in their systems. Okay, so that was 2019. We're now in 2022. And we're still talking about some of the same stuff. During that live, we also discussed returns, which has been a reoccurring discussion topic on my platform. But, after the last 2 years of kind of watching channels being very, very in tune to the words that people choose when they make purchases, I am now semi-convinced that the return problem is not a Dooney problem. It's a consumer problem. And if you want to hear more of my opinions on that, you can leave a comment or let me know in the chat. I will review the chat before before I close out the live. Well, after I close the live, but before the chat disappears. If you want to hear my thoughts on that, it'll be a very short conversation, but I'm not 100. Then I was convinced, 2019, I was convinced that returns were a Dooney issue. They do still have some accountability in that, but it's a consumer problem. It's a consumer problem. It's a community problem. I said it and I'll say it again. It's a community problem. And I'm going to leave it right there. If you want to hear my very opinionated thoughts on that, leave a comment and we can circle back to that. But tonight we're focusing on the loyalty program. Okay. So, fast forward. That was October 27, 2019. Fast forward to April 18th, 2020. Do y'all know what day that was? April 18th, 2020 is the day that I ran through 10 pages of notes, still have them, where I reviewed the Dooney and Bourke loyalty program. And I still have I've got the notes right here because it really is the basis for tonight. So, the first is that I gave them an A for effort. But I also entered into the program saying I am not leaving points, rewards, dollars, discounts, however you equate it. I'm not leaving those sitting in an account because in true Dooney fashion, I was like, this is not the Sephora rewards program. This is not the Hilton Honors or the Marriott Bonvoy. It is not the Delta. These are not miles that are going to stay forever. I did not come into this thing expecting that the program was going to be long-term because it was flawed from the very beginning. And I know that many of us have had conversations. There have been glitches and hiccups. There have been pieces of this program that absolutely never worked. And if you are in the live tonight and have not yet hit the thumbs up, I kindly ask that you do so. All right. So I gave them an A for effort, but it went downhill from there. So it was free to join, but we were automatically enrolled if we already had a Dooney account. But they never told us what day the automatic enrollment was effective. It just said February 2020. And because it never gave us that date, we were never able to reconcile our accounts to know if all of our purchases were actually captured in the automatic enrollment. So that's the first thing. Second thing is Dooney's systems have not gotten any better over the last few years, and they were, quite honestly, their systems were too antiquated for the design of the program that they launched, the loyalty program. Had it been backed by better customer service policies and better technology, it could have worked. But both of those, which are huge components, were missing, and therefore it was doomed from the very beginning. So the next thing is, they said that there were 10 ways for you to earn points. And what I just want you to do as I go through these is to let me know, whether on the replay or if you're in the chat, if you ever got points for doing these things. So the first is 25 points for joining. I don't know if I ever got my 25 points because I was automatically enrolled. But did you ever see your 25 points in the account balance? Okay, that's the first thing. Then it said make a purchase. So 4 times a year you were eligible to get 200 points for making a purchase. Maybe those were the points that always said that they were pending in my account, but I don't know that I ever got them. Okay, then there were 25 points to write a review, which I said then I would never do because of the way Dooney handled reviews in the past. So I know I never got any points from that because I decided I was not wasting my time. I have control of my review of Dooney items on this platform. So points or no points, I decided that this platform was best for me. Then it was 15 points if you connect on Facebook. 15 points if you follow on Twitter. 15 points if you follow on Instagram. That is hilarious to me because I tag all the time. I had a hissy fit at one point and stopped posting and tagging. And then I got to a point where, like I've been doing lately, I do a post on like IG on Sundays and still never saw my point balance change. And I can remember during the live saying, how in the hell are they going to make that work? Like the email address that I do e-commerce, like my orders to, that's different from the email address that's tied to most, if not all, of my social media accounts. How can you reconcile that, right? They never asked us to tell them what our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter handles were. Instead, they just said follow them. So how do I get my points back if you don't know that I'm... Are y'all following? Did anybody ever get points? I really want to know because I know that I was hard on this program when it first rolled out, but unlike many people, I sat and went through every single line of the terms and conditions, caught some of their errors, remember us sending messages to Katie? Yeah, we'll get to that part. But it never worked. So even if you wanted to show off, even if you didn't have a YouTube platform but wanted to share your purchases maybe on Instagram, how do you get rewarded if they never know that it's you posting because they just said follow us? They never asked who you were so that they could track those postings. And unless they're paying top dollar, and I can tell you that they are not, for a marketing company to track that, nor did they have an appropriate intern tracking social media. Who's going to go through all of those posts and manually input the 15 points for every time Dooney is tagged in a post? It was a hot mess. If you got your points, bravo. I hope they figure out a better way to do it before they bring whatever this program is that they're trying to design for later in the year. Dooney, I know you'll be watching this. That was broken. It never worked. You guys need to fix it. In addition to being fixed, the point multiplier promotion, and I'm sure I've got it in here somewhere, that only happened one time, but if I recall correctly, everybody that made a purchase that weekend was included in the point multiplier. And I don't remember if the points were different based on your loyalty levels. And they should be different based on your loyalty levels, or only the people that are your loyalists should be able to participate in the multiplier. That would make it really easy because it would be based on the login and you know, being able to track the purchases. The other thing, and I promise I'm going to get back to my notes, but we're bouncing back and forth. The other thing that they said you would have the option for, or that would be a benefit, a perk, under the rewards program, the loyalty program, is that if you were a loyalist, you would also get an early preview of merchandise releases, like have the option to shop early. Did that ever happen? I think we all saw, for example, the Western collection at the same time. I think we all saw the new Alto pieces released at the same time. And I know not everybody that's in this chat is a loyalist. I understand that, but I think we all got the same level of benefit. So the question is, where's the benefit of truly being loyal to the brand if everyone got the exact same thing? Again, systems, I don't think they had the systems set up, and they never got the infrastructure set up to align with their terms and conditions. I'm going to get back to this, but there are a couple of other things that came up after they launched the program that were just like hot coals in my side. So, Christmas time, like all of us got the note that we were maxed out on our points. Like we couldn't earn anymore, but you could redeem. And y'all know good and well that in that initial review, there was no cap, there was no max in the terms and conditions on that program. That's something that Dooney did later. And I don't know whether it's because they're losing money or they underestimated the cost of the loyalty program by giving the discounts at the level that they did. But that was a huge miss. Not only that, but I think that they should have either gone into the holiday season or immediately after the holiday season let us know that the program was going to be abandoned at this date, but the email came out and the date had already passed. So you can use the points that are in your account, but if you wanted, for example, to make another purchase in order to get the points, maybe you were close enough to get a $30 discount, you didn't have the option because when they sent the email, the program was already ended at that point, which I'm going by everybody else's emails because I'm still having a tantrum that I didn't get an email. Not that I needed it, but again, if you can't get someone's email address right to send out that kind of communication, then how in the heck do you manage a program that has 10 different ways for your consumers to earn points? Not only that, one of my tribe sisters got an email it had the right first name, but it didn't have the right last name. So, did they mess it up? I know she didn't miskey her name. She signs into her account all the time. So again, if you can't get a simple email distribution list out, how in the heck do you expect to manage a loyalty program that has 10 plus ways for your consumers to earn points? Whew, I'm gonna have some water, y'all. I feel like my temperature rising. I don't have the little white angel halo on tonight, but it's the other one. Okay, you were also able to earn 10 points 2 times a month for posting on Instagram with the hashtag Dooney and Bourke. But again, if they never ask for your Instagram handle, how then do they credit you back your 10 points? You missed your 15 points for following, and you also missed basically 20 points a month since April of 2020 because they weren't able to get the points in your account. 100 points if you subscribe to the newsletter. Isn't the newsletter, wasn't there like a hyperlink on the website? So did anyone ever get the newsletter? I never got the newsletter. I did get the brochure that I showed you last week with the All Weather Leather 3.0 collection. But I didn't consider that to be a newsletter. Did anyone ever get what they considered to be newsletter? Okay, moving on. I never got that. You also got 100 points for providing your birth month and date. And all I want to say is they better not ever have a data breach, or I will be the first one to file the paperwork for class action lawsuit, because they have done absolutely nothing by getting my birth date and my birth month, because I didn't get a discount from it, and therefore I don't know what they needed it for, because it was not to my benefit. I don't believe I ever got the 100 points. Maybe I did on that one. Maybe I did. But again, I've had points pending in my account, and before you go there, they weren't pending because of returns, because y'all know I don't play that game. They were purchases, but I guess because I was already at that 5,000 threshold long before we got to the holiday season, they just stayed in this pending status instead of sending a consumer email letting me know that those points that were pending would not ever be credited to my account, because I had reached the max of 5,000 points, which, by the way, was not in the initial rollout of the program, because I would have captured that. We would have discussed that. Instead, we're going to talk about here in just one more point, no pun intended, what the earning ratios were. So there was also 200 points, again, for making 4 purchases per year. Okay. So if you sign in through Dooney, you could get it. I think. I don't remember ever seeing it be posted that way. I don't know if you actually had to click on it from the Loyalist dashboard in order for it to work, or if by simply signing into your account and making a purchase, it should have reconciled and given you your 200 points, but I am 99% certain that that was not the way that it worked. There was also this issue where you could not use Dooney Pay, Apple Pay, or PayPal and get points. You also could not use your points and use eBates, Rakuten. It was one or the other. Now, I will tell you, There's a loophole to that, but I'm not going to point it out on here. And please don't post it in the chat because I don't want them to figure that piece out. But there is or was a way to use your loyalty points and get your Rakuten cash back on the same transaction, even though the program didn't allow it. Y'all text each other and have that conversation. Just don't put it in the chat because I don't know if they figured it out. Or maybe they did, and maybe that's why we don't have a program anymore. Okay, so insiders were to earn 1 point per dollar. So dollar for an insider. Ambassadors would earn, okay, wait. Nope. Is that the same? Yeah. Okay, so ambassadors would earn 1.25 points for every dollar spent, and loyalists would earn 1.5 points for every dollar spent. That's the same rewards if you know the tiers at Sephora for their loyalty program. It's the same ratio, so I didn't have a problem with that. Points were redeemable in increments of 100, and that was a minimum, I think, of $6 for 100 points. And I think I'm good with that too. I mean, there were a couple of times that I did take the $6 off because, like I told you, I decided as soon as this program launched, if I have points, I'm using them because I knew that this program was going to have the plug pulled on it. And that's why the only A it got in its execution was an A for effort. Everything else I rated as an F for this program because they just weren't sophisticated enough in their execution and systems in order to be able to pull this off. Okay, so for a minute, you could use your points, whether you purchased on Dooney or whether you purchased on ILD, you could use your points interchangeably, and you could earn points when you shopped at the actual outlet store. You couldn't redeem the discount in the store, but they take your email address and that purchase would get recorded to your purchase history and you would earn points, but you could only cash those points in online. So, it didn't start that way though. When the program first launched, you could not get credit for purchases made in the outlet. That was a much later rollout, even though the initial terms and conditions did state that you could earn for in-store outlet purchases. Okay, so when I think part of Dooney's issue in reconciling points, and I'm talking about for those of you that you know deep down in your retail therapy heart that you are a returner. I'm talking to you right now. You deep down are a returner, whether self-pronounced or you want in a closet somewhere, low-key ordering stuff and returning it. I think the issue with the pending is because Dooney already didn't have a seamless, smooth process for handling returns. Couple that with a reward program where you could, in essence, be negative if you have used points long before they actually reverse the transaction and take away the points from a purchase that you returned. It felt like forever. I was hearing people say that they had points pending. My points pending were because I hit the 5,000. Because I had points pending September, I think it was Labor Day weekend, when I was talking to DJ King and Rosalind Ellis, when we first had the conversations about all of these points that never seem to actually credit into the bucket. Like, they are sitting there, but they never translate into discounts off. So I think that, again, systems wise, them not having a good process for handling returns. They don't have a good process for issuing the returns. I mean, issuing the refunds. They don't have a good process for communicating when they've received a return. They don't have a communication process when the credit has been issued. It just snowballed. Not to mention the whole tracker that I was so excited to see when they rolled out the program. It was the order, pick, pack, ship, track, poster. Y'all know what the thing is, right? With the last one being, you should get that little check mark when you do your post on Instagram to get your 15 points. That, baby, that never works. I never had one with the check mark went to shipped. I never had one that went to the pack. And I never saw the check mark when I posted something on Instagram. It was a really good program. It's almost like they had college interns who, like millennials, that came in, that know how loyalty program and tech and app is supposed to work, and they built an amazing program. But because Dooney didn't invest the technology to power it, it never worked the way that it was supposed to work. And these were things that back in 2018, back in 2020, or 2019 and 2020, it's just some things, like, you don't need a crystal ball in order to figure out that it's not gonna work. It's just not. They would have had to overhaul way too many things. And we did. We gave them a list. This community gave them a list of things during that same time period between 2019 and the rollout of 2020. Remember, they were doing the customer survey, and there were probably like 20 questions, and we were all in a live stream talking about being brutally honest, and if they're listening, we want to give them everything. We talked about the customer service numbers, the gift wrap, the shipping. Do y'all remember that? So they had all of the information I think that they needed in order to make this work, but it only works if you have the technology. In order to, my great uncle used to always say, and I know he didn't, I'm sure anyway, in order to make money, you have to spend money. In order to make money, you have to spend money. You've never heard of anybody starting a business and they didn't spend any money. It doesn't work that way. You have to spend money in order to make money. And Dooney has a loyal following. But they also have a knack for pissing their customers off to the point that it makes you say, I'm at purse piece because I don't want to deal with it anymore. Or they're too slow to change, I don't want to deal with it anymore. Or in my case, I don't want the headache of dealing with the return, so I'll just keep it. I'll just gift it. I'll figure out, I'll clean the bag, I'll figure out another way. I just don't want to have to deal with it. So, I'm going to call the Twitter, the Instagram, and the Facebook post, if you go back and watch that live stream, I referred to them then as unicorn points, and I'm referring to them now as unicorn points because they told us that they existed, but we never saw them. So as far as I'm concerned, they're like a unicorn. So points accumulated across all purchase platforms, including the app. Don't get me started on the app. I have added the app, taken it off, added the app, taken it off, added it and taken it off, and I have said that if I put that dang blasted app on my phone again, I am going to drop my phone in a bucket of water because it is an absolute waste. There were no extra promotions, no additional discounts. You have better luck shopping the ILD site on eBay, getting deals there than you do on the actual Dooney app. I said it. Peter, I said it. Bring the interns back, let them work on the app. Dooney.com, ILD outlet stores, you were supposed to be able to get points across all of them. And I can honestly say I shopped in outlet store. I got my points for that. I shopped ILD. I got points about from that. And Dooney.com. The app missed me with that. It's a hunk of junk. Okay. Points are only redeemable online. We were never able to do that in store. They were transparent about that up front. No problems for me, about that, with that. Okay, the next grade F went to the technology. We've already talked about that. The speed to reconcile or the lack thereof. The next F, I'm going through, we're on page 6, the expiration of points. Okay. So, this was a hot mess from the rollout, and they overcomplicated it. And I know that they overcomplicated it because we have a policy like this at work with the attendance policy. And I don't care which organization I have worked in, which industry, if they've had an attendance policy that has rolling attendance points, it is difficult for frontline leaders to wrap their minds around the fact that if somebody gets an attendance occurrence in October, if it's a rolling 6 months, that occurrence is not going to fall off until April the next year. Well, it's the same way with Dooney. Theirs was on a rolling 12-month period. So if you bought something in January, those points were supposed to be available until January. Let's say you bought something on January 1st this year. Those points should not have expired until January 2nd next year, right? That's a rolling 12 month. That's 365 days. But again, technology-wise, if you can't get your email distribution right, how are you going to get a rolling calendar programmed in your system to make sure that my points are not going to expire? And was the system programmed to use my first points first, or did it just deduct points from the balance, and then if I accumulated 200 points in January, on January 1st, did it just deduct 200 points on January 2nd the next year because that was the rolling 12 months? Or I can't believe that their system was smart enough to know that I'd already used 200 points. So those, first in, first out, I don't trust the technology. And I didn't trust the math then. And as soon as they said rolling 12 months, I knew that it was going to be a cluster. Because, again, their technology isn't smart enough. Their people and customer service aren't empowered to make those judgment calls and decisions. I'm going to put a pin right there. I did have the order that I actually reviewed with you last week. I forgot that I ordered that. I never got an order confirmation. I just got a notification in the UPS app that said that I had a package that was supposed to be delivered. So I called Dooney, and of course, because my order history for 2021 and 2022 is not in either account, ILD nor Dooney. It's not there. I can see my order history from 2019, but I can't see 2021, 2022. I don't understand that. Maybe yours is like that. Let me know in the comments or in the live chat. The other thing is that they always told me that I could see my order numbers on my dashboard in my activity. And you're right, I can see order numbers, but I can't see the order details, so I still didn't know what I'd ordered. Fast forward, I talk to a rep. She's not able to figure it out either because I can't give her an order number. She finally tries to look it up by my email address, and even she says, "Oh, you've been busy ordering this year." You think? Can you tell me though what my last order was? Because I have no clue. It must have been during the wee hours of the morning. And she couldn't figure it out either. And she said, "Well, maybe it was the tracking number for the order that you got 2 days ago." And I'm like, "No, I you do a really good job of, checking things off in the app and clearing things out so that I know what's I'm waiting on." And I'll even take a screenshot because sometimes the UPS app can update and you might lose tracking information, or they will say it's been delivered and it's not, and you need that tracking information. So I had a screenshot. Basically, we get off the phone. She makes notes in the account and she says, if the order hasn't delivered by Friday, so this was a Monday call, it was supposed to be delivered on Friday. It didn't deliver on Friday. I waited thinking maybe it'll deliver on Saturday. It didn't. This is now Monday afternoon, still haven't gotten anything. And she says, we'll give it till Friday. And if it hasn't been delivered by Friday, call us back and we will open a case. Because I already tried to open a case with UPS and I couldn't because I wasn't the shipper. Y'all, I did not ask for her to call me back. I did ask for her to please leave detailed notes in the system so that I did not have to explain all of this all over again. Do you know it was not 15 minutes later, I got a call back from Dooney from that rep who stuck with my information, tracked down what my items were, called me back with the item numbers. Like, anytime I called and somebody was supposed to call me back or I asked for a call back, they never did. But in this particular case, the customer service rep, who's probably not going to end up staying with them long because she's got a really good knack for customer service and Dooney does not. Therefore, she's probably going to tick somebody off and she's going to end up having to find another job. But she called me back and walked through, and sure enough, Thursday, my package was delivered. It was one of those UPS re-ice things that they do when they supposedly, it's what the supervisors do to trick the system that they made all of the deliveries when they didn't. It keeps their internal numbers where they're supposed to be, so my delivery was pushed out almost a week. But anyway, okay, so points again. Sephora points don't expire. My Delta miles don't expire. My Southwest miles don't expire. But the Dooney points did expire every 12 months, and I have no clue whether it worked or it didn't, but I'm going to stick with my original assessment and say that it did not. Okay? So okay. So here's where there was the first glitch. So Dooney says that it was a rolling 12-month period. But which is not the case in the Dooney terms and conditions. Your points actually expire from 12 months of purchase if not used. I think that's the same thing. Okay, so redeeming points contradicts itself in the terms and conditions. It says you can't redeem. Yeah. In one place in the terms and conditions, it said that you could redeem points if you used Dooney Pay, Apple Pay, or PayPal. But many a time right after the program launched, I heard from many of you on Instagram, via DM, and in the live chat that you were not getting points if you were paying with one of these alternative payment methods. Okay, So the birthday rewards. So one of my girlfriends, she's probably gonna watch this. Hey Treese, she made her first Dooney purchase during the stacking event, the Brad's deals, that promo. She bought her Christmas present to herself and her mom's Christmas present. And she signed up for the Dooney Rewards program then. Her birthday is this month. She got a discount code for the 20% off. So the way this thing is supposed to work is that once you sign up, the following year, so your birthday the next year, you get the discount. I don't know how many times I got to put my email address in the system in order to try to get the discount, but it never worked. Okay. They did say that you could have your account canceled for abuse related to buying, returning, and redemption. So I don't know whether Dooney is canceling the program because of business reasons or because of the return repeat offenders in this community. I'm not sure which it is, but maybe they decided they were going to punish all of us the same since we've been all treated the same thus far. But maybe this is their way of saying we're canceling it because as a community, they have abused the program related to buying, returning, and redemption. They figured out back doors. They carrying bags and then returning them. They are taking all the packaging off, and it's maybe it's all sink or swim. They should have put that in the terms and conditions. I would have let you know to be on your best behavior. Okay, moving on. So the program had tiers, and the tiers were for 100 points you could get $6 off. 200 points you could get $12 off of your purchase. 300 points, $18 off. 400 points was the equivalent of $24 off. And then 500 points was $30 off. Now, I will be the first to say that I gave this portion an F when it first rolled out. And in all honesty, I will be sad to see those extra discounts go, which also means that I'm probably going to hold back on making some additional purchases until I can see what the next rewards program is going to be. So I'm going to encourage us all to enjoy our collections, not spend our money with Dooney right now, which hopefully will nudge them into getting the next program developed and launched so that we can begin receiving whatever the new reward program is going to be. $30 off was not bad. I was really hard on that when it first launched, but you could use that 30 off on top of whatever the sale price or discounted price was. So it actually ended up being really, really nice. Most of the time I cashed in 500 points at a time, but like I said, there were times that I only had like 100 points, and I took my $6 because it was not going to last, and I did not want a lot of, rewards unused in the program. Now, I did have, it was either 300 or 400 points in the account, and last week, I started a purchase, but then I got distracted, and now those points are not available in my account. They should have been redeposited because I never checked out, but maybe they just evaporated because they were added to a cart even though I didn't check out. So they have evaporated. Do I want my $18 or $24? I do, because I would probably use them towards another Lexi purchase. But I feel a whole lot better about losing 18 or 24 than the $30 off. And I know some of you are like, well, it's just $6 difference. It's my $6. It's my $6. Okay. Um, so um it was never addressed if you could use your loyalty points in combination with a trade-in. Did anybody ever try that to see if it works? I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if you tried it, they came back and told you no because they were already giving you trade-in value, which is typically 50% of retail. So they probably didn't allow you to use loyalty points on top of a trade-in voucher. But I'm curious. Let me know in the comments if you were able to ever pull it off. It wasn't addressed in the terms and conditions, which I think is something that a lot of people occasionally take advantage of, but they didn't take that one into consideration. Let's see, in the original in the original documents posted online, someone named Katie was being asked if the transaction totals are going to be rounded up or rounded down for point calculations. It doesn't appear to be addressed in the current terms. So remember when I went through the terms and conditions, which was like immediately, I started catching errors, like literally the draft document is what was initially posted online. I even captured a screenshot, I'm pretty sure, and asked you all to go over and say hi to Katie on Instagram. Do y'all remember that? Because we wanted Katie to rule in our favor, which was to allow the transaction totals to roll up instead of rolling down so that you get your more points, or at least a whole point that way. In the exclusions, it says purchases made prior to enrolling in the program are not eligible. But again, they self-enrolled or auto-enrolled most of us, so I don't know that we were ever able to get that. Um, Terms were as of February 2020, so we're basically at 2 years into the program, but it didn't state an effective date, so who knows. There was language in there about making a modification to an order, which is funny because you can't, Dooney can cancel an order, but you can't cancel an order. Dooney can modify an order, but they won't modify an order if you call and ask for a modification. Like, hey, I placed an order this morning and now there's a discount code. Well, ma'am, you'll have to return that order and place a new one. So now you got my money tied up twice, and it's going to be 45 to 60 days before I get that credited back, and I'm going to have to spend my lunch hour for probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 days over the course of that time period trying to follow up on did y'all get it back and when is my refund going to be posted. Yeah, so that was a hot mess. They never figured that out either. Points for orders are not recorded as earned until your order ships. There were several times that Dooney shipped orders and didn't process the payment. Some of you in the community have experienced that. Some of you have experienced the charge going through and then never got the package. So I understand that the points shouldn't post until the order ships, but let's get to let's get to root cause here. You should know, Dooney, what you have in inventory so that you know when I place my order whether you have inventory for my order to ship. So if we get those things, thanks us. If we get those things, from a technology standpoint, if we can get some real-time inventory technology, then there shouldn't be this delay in me having to wait until it ships, because you should know that you have inventory in order to fulfill my order. There's also with Dooney, there's like one person that processes payments. So like when she goes on vacation or she's off on like a Friday, that's what causes some of these issues, because someone still has to like push the button to tell the bank, yes, we want those funds, we're claiming those funds, we're shipping. It's not automated like Nordstrom or Walmart or, MCM or some of these other places. It is still very, very labor intensive. It is like having, the cash auditor sitting in an office going through the money and balancing the receipts and pushing the button. And when that person isn't there, it throws everything else off. So, new program. I would say I liked that the option of using the discount when I wanted to use the discount. $30 off was not bad, but I can tell you, if the next program comes and it's less than 30, I'm going to be pissed, because Dooney has a reputation of getting you hooked with something, i.e. $59 Wallet Wednesday, and then going to $79, $89, and $99 Wallet Wednesday. You should have started at the high end and broken me in lower, and then I would have known that there was a scale. But you started at 55 and you ran 55 for several Wallet Wednesday promotions, and then all of a sudden stuff went up. They just don't, I don't know that their marketing team is really getting good consumer feedback all the time, or if they are just still making decisions based on the good old boy system. And I would dare to say that the women who work at Dooney shop more than the men who work at Dooney, and they definitely carry and own more handbags than the men who work at Dooney, and therefore their voices should carry more weight on conference calls, in emails, in boardrooms, on team meetings, because they are not only more in tune to their consumers, but they are also women. Now, I'm not going into all of the gender non-conforming, whatever. Just take me at baseline at that. The women that are in those spaces and meetings and places, they need a voice. So, if the new program isn't at least $30, then I think you should figure out a different way to reward, because we now have equated $30, 500 points as a minimum. If you're going to change something, you got to make it better. You can't make it worse, Dooney. And I shudder to think of how you can make it better and actually execute it. You could take what you had and figure out how to make it work, and we'd be happy to see the program come back, fully functional, because we never got a fully functioning version of the program. Sad to see it go, surprised to see it go. I am not. But that's it. I mean, if you can't get email addresses right, if you can't get birthdays right, if you can't get point execution right, if the credits, I mean, there was just a lot going on. So I give them an A for effort. They had the framework for what could have been an absolutely amazing loyalty program, much better than any other handbag company in the industry. But unfortunately, the technology and resources were not there. in order for it to work. So, whew, that's it. So here we are, 2 years later. The program is going away. They did say that they were working on something for release this fall. I don't know what Dooney defines as the fall, but we will see. And until then, I would urge you to enjoy what you have, curate your closet, shop your stash, review, sell, trade, clean, organize. There are plenty of handbag related things that we can do with our collections. I'm talking to myself now. There are plenty of other things that we can do in the meantime while we are waiting for Dooney to launch whatever this program 2.0 is. There's plenty that we can do with our current possessions to refrain from making any purchases until they count towards some new version of the rewards or loyalty program. I'm curious to see what it's going to be, because y'all know I will be relentless and I will go through every single line of the terms and conditions when it is released. And I just hope they can get it right this time, because YouTube memorializes forever, and my notes stay right here on my desk to be able to refer to the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you were not here when the first review of the program was done back April 18th of 2020, I will link that video down in the comments. Not in the comments. Well, I probably will put it in the comments and in the information box once the video uploads, so that you can go back and watch that. It was a 90-minute detail of the terms and conditions when the program first launched. What we did tonight is basically the unwinding of that 2 years later. Did it ever work? No. They still get the A for effort, but I'll give them also an A for the actual redemption, but everything else remained an F. They just were not able to pull it off. So fingers crossed that there is a better, stronger team around technology resources, that they've got the right voices in the room, that if Katie is still making decisions on rolling up and rolling down, she's going to roll in our favor. Hi, Katie. Everybody tell Katie hi in case she's still with Dooney, and tell her to make it a good program, because our eyes are on you, Katie. We want a new program, and we want it to be better than what we had, and we want it to work. So that's the tribe, that's the verdict, and we'll all see. I'm sure all of you will know before I know, because I don't get emails. The only emails I seem to get from Dooney are the ones that make me part ways with my money, the discount codes, the sales, but not the communication. And it's probably because they know that I was going to sip and cuss tonight. But because I have such an amazing community, I didn't need the email. I had it sent to me 5 times before 6:30 a.m. So I didn't need an email with my name on it, because all of you were so gracious in sharing the news with me. And I know it was all the buzz and on all of the social media platforms. And I think I've seen a couple of videos. I need to go watch some of them, but I did not want to be influenced by anyone's take on the program or the communication, because I knew that I had my original thoughts, and I knew where I stood then, and I knew where I stand now. And I wanted to do that unbiased and influenced by other influencers. So go back, watch that one from the original launch, April 18th, 2020. It was called Feed Your Addiction. No, it was a Tribe Time. It was Tribe Time D&B loyalty program. I will post the link afterwards. And then let's just talk really quick. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up while you're getting ready to hear the question. If you could design a loyalty program element, not asking you to design the whole program, right? Because we're already 64 minutes into the chat. But what would be the one thing that you would want? And if there's some special nuance to it, then please capture that either in the comments if you're watching on the replay or if you're in the chat. So, for example, if your loyalty program element is a birthday discount, how much would you want the discount to be? Where would you like to be able to use it? When would you receive it and how? So would it be like the last day of the month before your birthday? Is it the first day of the month that your birthday is in? And how long would you have to use it? Or is it only you get it on your birthday and it's only good through the end of the month or for 30 days? Like, design an element of a loyalty program so that our sweet Katie has some ideas, and so that the interns and so that the store managers that have been so absolutely amazing, that they have some customer support with our voices to share what element should be in the new program. There was a gift with purchase promo, but I think it was for everyone because it was the little clear lunch tote. But it was for everyone. It was not just for loyalists. It was anyone that made a purchase during that promo, which was not the way that the little chart was set up. There were only supposed to be certain people that were eligible for a gift. And maybe that one, maybe they didn't intend it to be that way. Now that I'm thinking about it, that would be way too sophisticated. So yeah, we never got our gift. Never got it. Never got it. Never got it. All right, so let me see. Let me see if I can get the chat pulled up and see. Uh-oh, don't do that. I want to see in the chat, y'all. I think I'm gonna have to get some glasses. Okay, so points not expiring for me. Never expiring points. Free shipping, no minimum. Yes. Why? It pains me to pay for shipping. I'm not paying for shipping. If you want my money, send my stuff for free. Points that don't expire, no minimum shipping, free gift with purchase annually. Okay, so emails went to spam folders. Mine was not in spam. Any of the addresses, I just didn't get it. But they probably didn't want me to get it. What else? Gift wrapping absolutely would be nice. If only for added protection for the purchases that we make, let alone the ones that we actually gift to other people, right? So one, you got to get it, hope that you get it on time, hope that it's not trashed or returned when you get it, and then you have to pay or ship it again, because you can't even without the gift wrap, you can't even include a note to say, hey ma, happy birthday, or hey sis, just thinking about you. You can't even do that. So yes, gift wrapping would absolutely be nice. Birthday points are good for 1 year. Dawn would like her birthday points to be good for a year. B-Star says to earn points regardless of the payment. I absolutely agree with that because it translates all the same to Dooney. Exclusive items with points, that would be nice to like be able to cash them in on, like Sephora, you can use it on like deluxe samples. So maybe you could use it for like small SLGs at a higher point value, and then maybe key chains or Dooney bracelets or earrings or something else Not duck stickers. Don't come with that, Katie. We do not want to exchange points for duck stickers. That's not an even exchange. Free shipping and free returns. Any others? Those are the only elements y'all have? No ideas on the point values or. Okay. I see that there are a lot of new people in the chat tonight, so thank you for being active. I hope that this is not your last time joining in. We really like the interaction here, and even though I don't always respond to every single comment during the live before I go have dinner, before I do anything, I always go back through and read every single comment in the live chat. So thank you for joining the conversation tonight. I really appreciate it. And of course, now the battery is going dead on here. Points like Ulta. Yep. Exclusive days earning double or triple points. I like that as well. Redemption power is key. Absolutely. It feels like there were a couple of sales where Dooney actually blacked out use of points from a redemption standpoint. That was not included in the original terms and conditions. Y'all didn't tell us you were going to do that. You changing things on the fly. You're capping out points on the fly. You're ending programs the day after you're communicating the ending of programs after they've already ended. Y'all, it was just a hot mess. I enjoyed it while it lasted, but to say that it worked the way that it was supposed to, it did not. So thank you so very much. If you think of anything else that you would like to have in the program, please come back to this video, leave it in the comments, because I can promise you somebody at Dooney is watching. And maybe our voices will carry a bit more weight in the redesign of the program, and it will be more to the community's liking. Because if they're designing it to take care of the holiday gift purchaser that's only going to buy from Dooney once a year, then I'm getting more and more at purse piece. So that's it. That is my review of the program, how it's ending, how it went. I'm going to just leave it there. Thank you so very much for watching. Please hit the thumbs up before you head out. If you are not subscribed to this channel, I am going to kindly ask that you do so and hit the bell alert so that you do not miss any of my future uploads or live streams. If this was your first time participating in the chat, thank you so very much for joining in. You are always welcome here. I hope that you will stick around and check out a few more videos. It is my pleasure to spend Sunday evening with you. For those that will be off tomorrow enjoying the holiday like I am, enjoy it, get some rest, play in your bags. If you are posting Dooney and Bourke or Coach or MCM on Instagram, please tag me in your posts. I like to see them, especially if you're curating your closet and showing what you are accessorizing with. And yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll consider doing another video. Maybe. Don't hold me to that. Alrighty, ladies, it was my pleasure, as always, to hear your thoughts, and I do not take it for granted that you come and spend time on Sundays to hear my thoughts on handbags and pain points and all of the other things that come along with being a member of the tribe. Thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, I do hope you find something that feeds your addiction. Take care, everyone.